To continue building on my ninja feeding with my dog on the bed, I want to make sure that I have my rewards ready in small pieces, so they're pre-broken or chopped up so that I don't need to spend a lot of time breaking them. I want them to be available so that I'm not digging in my pocket or crinkling a bag. I want to be able to quickly toss that treat in when my dog is not looking at me. So this method of rewarding is to build more calmness into duration when the dog is on the bed. So I want him to start to think about just chilling, relaxing on the bed, and not think that he needs to keep his focus on me continuously. If the dog has some duration on the bed already, then I also want to start to pause longer between rewards. So I'm going to still try and look for moments when the dog is not looking directly at me. And in order to help with this, I am also not going to look directly at him. So I'm going to try and keep an eye on my dog out of the corner of my eye, but not looking directly at my dog. And when I can tell or I think that my dog is not staring at me directly, I'm going to try and toss those rewards in. Now, still at first, the dog may move their head to look when you move your hand to toss, and that's fine. That's part of the process, but we're going to try and initiate the treat toss when they're not looking. Depending on the position that they decide to lie down in as well, if my dog had their back facing me more, then they might look away more than if they're facing directly. But either way, if I try to look for those moments when my dog is not looking at me directly, then I'm going to start to build in more relaxation. And I can try and wait a little longer, see if my dog does relax more. So another way to practice this, which also helps in the duration, is to do a different activity while I am building up the duration. So often it can be difficult for the humans to sit and do nothing as well. So we can work on doing something that we're going to focus on that doesn't take too much of our focus. So something else that we can look at or work on while still keeping half an eye on our dog so that we can still toss those rewards in when our dogs are starting to relax. So if my dog is really wanting to look at me, then at first I'm trying to just toss those rewards in when my dog is choosing to look away. But as I see that my dog starts to relax more, then I might try and wait even longer between rewards. So I'm going to try and not toss the reward every time he looks away. Whoops, causing a distraction here for my dog. So he's looked away, but I'm going to wait a little longer, see if he does start to relax more. So now I'm getting a bit more relaxed behavior, which is nice. So I'm going to let him hang out there, and then I'm going to toss a reward in. So as my dog starts to relax more and more, then when I do toss the reward, he may not notice me toss as much, which is ideal, but I do want him to notice when the treat shows up. So I just try and toss it close to his body so that he will notice when that treat gets to him. If I am working on this technique with my dog in a more distracting situation, then I may need to reward my dog more frequently. In that case, I would be working on rewarding my dog when they are noticing the distraction and continuing to remain calm. So I would still be rewarding the dog when they do not have their focus directly on me, but I would also be watching for the moments when my dog is noticing the distraction. Once they do get calmer around distractions, then I would continue to try to delay the reward more. So for example, if I was working on this when I had a guest and the guest and I are sitting and talking, and my dog is hanging out on their bed. If my dog is very excited about the guest, I would initially be rewarding my dog anytime they are glancing over at the guest and remaining calm. And once they start to relax more and more, then I would start to delay longer between rewards. So then I would want to be working towards the point that the dog can start to feel relaxed, even though the presence of the guest is still there.